Welcome, one and all. We are live for the Slam Jam Championship Wrestling Show here on the Extreme Improv Extreme YouTube channel, as well as the Slam Jam channel, and on all of the platforms, Twitch, Kick, X, D Live, wherever you're watching. Hello. Dave, say hello to the people.
Hello there, everybody. I was trying to think of whether I could do some actions to all those different social medias, because obviously you've got the Extreme thing and all that sort of stuff, and it's going to be a Kick, Twitch, things like that.
I like the Twitch one. That's good. Yeah. But yeah, so we have a new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. I didn't actually. Yeah.
But you know what? How can you win it by going through the door? I mean, what kind of BS is that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Jesse Ventura, we needed him there.
Yeah. What did you think of the match overall? Three. What was it called? 3 Stages of Fear or something? 3 Stages of Hell, something like this.
I didn't watch. I don't watch the weekly shows, so I didn't see it.
Oh my god, it was worth seeing.
I saw the last bit. I watched the highlight stuff, so I saw like the actual falls and all that sort of stuff, and I did kind of think it was quite funny that Cody equalized by basically putting himself through a table.
Yeah, well, he's got a habit of doing that.
Yeah, as I've seen before. Yeah, at least it wasn't on fire this time. But yeah, it was a bit strange. It kind of like, because you look at it in terms of, okay, so you have your return of Jacob, which is a good moment. I suppose, it was anticipated he's going to come back at some point. The whole mystery of who attacked him, everyone assumes it was Drew, and there are those Cody people in our group chat that think it might have been Cody, in fact, and all that sort of stuff. So it sort of leaves it all sort of open, and him attacking Drew, first and foremost, just attacking Drew. But if Cody just hadn't like just gone over to sort of stop him, it's like, why are you trying to stop him? He's helping you out.
Yeah, exactly.
a
little bit lost logic there. And also, like, okay, so yeah, it does keep this mystery open. And will it turn out to be Cody? Like, it'll be interesting to see where they go character-wise with him, if that's like these wasn't it just like a year ago with Naomi that we had like this mystery of who attacks Jade and stuff like this? It feels a little bit like it's a retread in that regard.
Yeah, I think I said in the group chat that I don't know if they're going to be brave enough to sort of, if they couldn't do it with turning Bianca heel and having her be like the person that masterminded it all, they're not going to do it with Cody. I can't see it.
No. Oh, well, time will tell. Like, because where was the show? Cody was getting a few boos. I did notice. So, but it wasn't. It was in Germany or something.
Dusseldorf, yeah.
Dusseldorf, yeah. Okay, so yeah, who knows? It might be that a Cody heel turn. They're still feeling it out and assessing whether or not they take the plunge on that one, because
don't forget he said he will never turn. I know it wasn't in that company, but he said he would never turn.
Yeah, true. But yeah, so Drew won the world title, and I didn't watch it live. Even though it was like directly after we did Slam Jam last week, I just feel like SmackDown. It's where is it this time? It's in a foreign country. Hello, Dev.
Hey, Dev.
How you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Now, we were just saying we have a new WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
I'm just going to acknowledge the fact that shots fired. I get the joke.
Oh, okay, right. So a new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. I did not see that coming at all. Go on, Dev.
I like this a lot because this is the WWE apologizing to Drew and finally giving him the run that he deserved back, because during lockdown and COVID, he basically carried the company as a champion, but he never got to do it in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
So by giving the title in Glasgow of all places would be the perfect.
Well, he didn't. Okay, so here's the thing. So they didn't have Raw or SmackDown or any live TV show in Glasgow, but they then did tour there, right? Yeah. Because he won it. Was it in Germany, or Raw was in Dusseldorf? Okay, so but like either way, they didn't have him win it in his hometown or his home country. even though a couple of days later they were in the home country, but it just wasn't a TV taping. You know,
well, he got to go to his home country with the title. I got the homecoming hero return, like part basically.
Absolutely,
it wasn't his home country. His home country is Scotland.
No, but they then had like a house show in Scotland. So there's like a video of one of him turning up at the airport, and he's like, yeah, it's like, I went to college just down the road, and that's not my good Drew McIntyre impression. And then they did have a show where there's a video of his entrance in Glasgow or wherever it was, as WWE champion. I think there is a chance now. Obviously, it's been long spoken about that the Royal Rumble is going to be in Saudi, and people saying about are we going to have Sami Mania this year? And has Drew been lined up just to drop the title, perhaps to Sami Zayn at WrestleMania? Because I feel that's now potentially on the cards, whereas I thought Sami was nowhere to be seen. Go on, Dave.
Then I see a report that said that they have changed all their plans for Mania they had up to that point have completely changed. And the main result, or the main part of that, is this title change. Because they were teasing Cody and Roman 3, weren't they, at the Survivor Series? But now that apparently out the window.
Well, I'm pleased if that's out the window, because we've had it twice. They can't top what they did before, simply put. Dev.
The annoying thing is, I heard another report after that then Roman's now cancelling his Hollywood plans and he wants to go focus more on wrestling, go back to wrestling. And now that
why would he do that? He's just about to be in Street Fighter.
Exactly, Street Fighter.
What? So you said.
Could we potentially think that report is bollocks?
Possibly.
Cancelling your Hollywood. I'm going to cancel my Hollywood career.
Well, do you know what the interesting thing is? Like, when you look at Stone Cold Steve Austin, there was a period where he had loads of movies, and that just like, when was the last time I'm going to look this up.
Yeah, he was retired, or he was at least retired by that point, or wasn't like a full-time active roster member at that point. Yeah, he didn't have a glittering Hollywood career or anything like that, but he got by, and it's fair to say he's
the last thing I remember him from is Expendables, isn't it?
What, he hasn't done a movie since then? That was so long ago now.
Yeah, he's done the Expendables.
No, go ahead. Sorry,
they did that terrible one on the island with Vinnie Jones, didn't he, or something like that? That was something about that. Yeah,
okay. So here's his filmography. The Longest Yard, where he was a guardian. That's a not bad comedy film. The Condemned, was that the Vinnie Jones one?
No idea.
I don't know. Right. Then Expendables, and that was 2007. Expendables was 2010. He has done since then. He did these sound like shitty Steven Seagal movies. Maximum Conviction, The Package. But he did Grown Ups 2. And that was an Adam Sandler movie. That was 2013. And his last movie was Smosh the Movie, where he played himself. Smosh. Yeah. Which I think is a YouTube channel, or used to be. So, but I can't even remember what we were talking about this. Oh, yeah, Roman's Hollywood career. When Roman, had to take time away with his cancer battle, he ended up in The Rock's Fast and Furious movie. And I think he maybe said one line out loud. It was very typical wrestling Hollywood career stuff, where it's like, oh, there's Kevin Nash and he's super shredder. And then, oh, there's Kevin Nash and he's playing the Russian that doesn't speak. And it's just like, well, you've got the physical size, but we don't want to give you dialogue.
Or even better with Kevin Nash's filmography. Oh, look, there he is as a bodyguard of Tom Cruise in Rock of Ages.
Oh, I did not know that one.
Where his one line where he sings, when Tom Cruise's character is singing Wanted Dead or Alive, and he goes, "I'm wanted," and Nash and the other guy go, "Wanted."
I've seen Rock of Ages on stage. I've not seen the movie of it.
Don't bother. It's awful.
No. Kevin Nash is also one of the only survivors of John Wick.
Kevin Nash is in John Wick. I don't remember that.
He survived.
Yeah, he has a very good scene where it's like he sees John Wick and he's like, "Oh, you've lost weight," and like, "Yeah, 16 pounds." Apparently,
Wow.
that was a code word to tell him that there's 16 people in there, and because he told him, he let him live.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay. Well, anyway, so Roman had like one line in Fast and Furious.
Yeah,
He's
and that
playing
line
this
was
character.
ooh-ah. That was
Was
it.
it? Was it? I
Yeah.
can't remember.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, then I just remember they'd got like I think he opened his mouth once. Then in this, he's playing like the character Akuma, who I think is just going to be a presence and have no dialogue. Right.
Yeah.
I suspect so. I don't think he might have a few growls and be like, "You're going down" or something like that. I don't think he's
Also,
going to have much.
I'm not sure, but I think he was the villain in an Eddie Murphy heist movie that was like directed to Amazon Prime.
Wow. Roman Reigns.
IMDb check.
This is the annoying thing with IMDb and wrestlers is it will say Monday Night Raw, 200 episodes, and then you'll have like Shotgun Saturday Night and all of these random shows, and it's just like, no, I'm just looking for the movies in there. So Roman Reigns, it says professional wrestler and actor. And let's see if he does have a filmography bit on Wikipedia. Oh yeah, filmography. Oh yeah, actually, he was in Zootopia with CM Punk, and they were playing
as the Zebros.
The Zebros. And he's got, and then nothing else after Street Fighter is announced that he's in. So who knows?
Surely that's the Mania match you go for. The Zebros explode.
I'd love. I think it should be. I thought like a year ago it should have been CM Punk versus Roman. Oh, it was, but get rid of Seth out of it.
Yeah.
You know, he was the superfluous factor there. Okay, so where do we think they are going with WrestleMania? What if the plans have changed? It could be Punk versus Roman. It could be what it should have. Well, not necessarily should have been, but storyline wise, Punk versus Roman versus Brock makes a lot more sense than Seth being in there, who was a failed Paul Heyman guy because apparently they didn't like each other when it actually did happen.
I mean, I don't know you, but I'm definitely all in on Braun Breaker versus Scrap Iron Adam Pearce.
Wait, give a bit more context other than the fact that they don't get along. There's not actually some match on the card, surely.
Well, it seems that way. Isn't it?
They're teasing it, and like I think a couple of months ago they did the same with Nick Aldis, like a few months ago. I'm not sure who with.
I remember with Nick Aldis that he was teased to be the Randy Orton opponent at last year's Mania, and then it was Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think there was another thing that. Sorry, Joe. I think there was another thing that I saw on some random post. I can't remember if I was just scrolling through the socials and just saw it come up on my feed or something. But Pierce did a screen grab of his last match. I think it was the random one where he won like the gauntlet match to because remember it was originally going to be him versus Roman at the Rumble before they switched out for Kevin Owens to the last man standing during the COVID shows, and he just did a thing about that because I think it's like 3 years since that gauntlet match or something 3 or 4 years or something like that. So it did kind of get me thinking, hold on, is he saying that so that everyone remembers he was at some point a wrestler or something like that? I'm probably clutching at straws with that. I'm not being entirely serious either. I do not want to see Braun Breaker versus Adam Pearce. But I think it's something they're going to do at some point as some sort of angle, maybe. I don't know.
Do you know what? Wouldn't it be fun if they just like? It feels like it'd be a waste if that was a match at the Royal Rumble, but it'd be fun if they just had it happen on a Raw, you know, or something. Yeah. You know. But Dev.
Like today, I was discussing on Discord regarding one of the first indie shows we watched in like the first wrestling indie show that we watched, right? And my one was a indie show in 2007, and the main event was Nick Aldis versus Wade Barrett.
Nick Aldis versus what? This was an indie show.
Yeah,
Way back
2007.
then.
Yeah. Wow. Do you
What
know?
was-
I don't remember. I can't remember what the first indie show I went to is, and I certainly can't remember what the last one. I don't think I've really been to many high-ish profile indie shows ever, really.
I mean, I've been to quite a few since 2012 and things like that, and I would probably be able to name you some shows, but you know what, half the people that are probably on those shows are now redacted and probably don't really want to talk about. So
I think me and Dave have been on a few. I've been to a few of the same shows before as well.
yeah,
Oh,
we
wow,
must have been in the same
Yeah.
crowd at some point. Yeah, obviously didn't know each other at the point, but
Like Progress and Eve and stuff.
yeah, and Rev Pro and things like that. But I mean, there's like the highest profile one. Or high profile indie show that I went to was like third Progress show. I think it was when they were still at the Islington Garage. It was one show, and just mentioning it because obviously he retired a few months ago. The first Rev Pro show I went to at York Hall had Hiroshi Tanahashi in the main event against a redacted person. I'll just say his name, against Mighty Skull. And
2013.
2013. And the special guest at ringside was Bret the Hitman Hart. And it was the random image of seeing Mighty Skull getting in the face of Bret Hart at the end of the match for whatever reason. So Bret obviously puts him in the sharpshooter, and Hiroshi Tanahashi is at Skull's face, rubbing it in. You're getting the sharpshooter. Seeing these three people with completely different walks of wrestling life, but seeing Hiroshi Tanahashi and Bret Hart in there, and then Tanahashi doing his like air guitar thing, but to Bret's music, was pretty cool.
Do you know, a thought I had not a thought bouncing off of that. The other day I was thinking about the fact, like, with Drew McIntyre being world champion, and like he feels that he's a somewhat recent main event guy because he is 5 years now, but like recent main event guy. But it's like some of the matches that could have happened from when he was like first there as the chosen one and stuff like this so many years ago. It's kind of like one of these things that like messes with your perception of time. Like if you've seen those videos, because when was he there? Like, was it 2008, 2009?
Yeah, something like that. And then he was released, I want to say 2014, 13 or 14. And then he went on that big indie run, which just rejuvenated his career. And then 2 years later, he's back.
TNA, right?
TNA.
He was TNA world champion, wasn't he?
Yep.
Wasn't he? He was TNA world champion, I think.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's and like as they obviously have said a lot, Joe Hendry being this 20-year rookie veteran sort of thing before people sort of know, before he became a thing, and then with Matt Cardona returning, it's like so some of these like matches that they do now, like some of them where people are now prominent. It's like, well, they were there years ago as like less than prominent, and so some of these dream matches like kind of did happen. It's like when there was that thing where the Undertaker and Sting actually did have a match in WCW or NWA when he was just like Mean Mark Callis, and it's like this dream match that never happened. It's like, well, actually, it might have been tag, it might have been a battle royal, but there is footage of them wrestling each other.
It was that way. But it's different landscape entirely anyway at the moment, just due to the fact that you have people that are in WWE now that have been there for longer than the Hulkamania period. Think about that, from 85 to when he left in 92. That's only 7 years. And you've got people like Tyler Bate that have been employed by WWE since 2015.
Well, this is the crazy thing, because the Stone Cold Steve Austin run was like 3 years. It's like, well, 96 he became this character. 98 I think he won the world title. 2001 he's done. It's crazy. Go on, Dev.
It's like how Kurt Angle had a longer career in TNA than he did in WWE.
Yeah, and isn't it true that Mox has now been in AEW longer than he was in WWE? Am I right on that one?
I don't know.
Possibly.
I think I heard about that being a thing, but maybe it's coming up or something. But I think it might already be a thing.
Also, speaking of like back in the day, Drew, I just remembered that he beat Cody for the title right now, right? They used to be tag team champions together.
Did
Is
they?
it what,
They used to be tag team champions before he got fired in like 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't remember that.
Yeah, they
I
mentioned
do
it.
remember
Their first interaction, like since Cody came back, was on like Raw a few years ago, and Cody mentioned it while he was in there. So like, hey, you and me were tag team champions together. What were we called? And Drew goes, "We were the chosen ones, or the chosen something. I can't remember what they were. But whatever his gimmick at the time. What was his gimmick with the
Dashing,
the
dashing ones
dashing
or
ones.
something.
That was it, the dashing ones or something.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was like that's creative at the time.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. So anyway, so do we think Drew will keep it until WrestleMania? I think he will, but I think he's going to whoever wins the Rumble, he's dropping it to them.
It depends on who they do at the Rumble. I mean, you could go with Sammy, but I don't know if he's. I think you said it a few months ago, maybe on the show, David. I don't think necessarily he's that. They've waited too long with him again. They seem to every time he catches fire, they don't go with him.
Yeah,
and it's only so many times you can do it. Obviously, they're doing this thing with. They're doing a qualifiers tomorrow on SmackDown. Then they're doing a thing where the four-way match, and then whoever wins that is winning. Is got a title match on Saturday Night's Main Event. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
I vaguely know what you're talking about, but I have no idea who's involved.
In qualifying match tomorrow, I know he's against Ilya Dragunov. I think there's a four-way that's going to be on the next week's SmackDown that's then going to determine a number one contender for either Saturday Night's Main Event or the Rumble itself. So if Sammy's winning that whole thing, then obviously they're going to do the title match at the Rumble. If that's what they're doing. But yeah, I honestly don't know. I mean, it's been teased for ages that Bron Breakker's winning the Royal Rumble, but he's just had this title match, which he lost. So it's like you can't really do that Punk versus Breakker at Mania again, surely. But then they did do Gunter and Uso last year, so yeah, who knows?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Matt Cardona's one. This is where I saw about it because Matt Cardona is going to be in one of these qualifying things.
Right.
He is never winning a world title. Right. He is never like when he returned a couple of weeks ago, and you heard Michael Cole. He's like, last time we saw this guy, he was called Zach. I was like, wow. That you're speaking about the sense of derision in your voice already. Yeah. That's never happening. I
just like the fact that he returned and when everyone was expecting Jericho to return on the other show. It's like, hey, I'm here actually. It's just me. Sorry.
They were expecting what return?
We've been talking about Jericho returning all this time.
Oh, Jericho. Yeah, sorry, I misheard what you said.
It's like the week that's supposed to happen. It's Cardona that returns on SmackDown.
Yeah.
I know, Jericho still may return in the Rumble as people expected. So, who does Jericho go against at Mania if that does happen?
His own ego.
Well, probably they'll find someone.
Just had him against Ethan Page.
Oh, I don't think they'd do that. They'd do a money match, I think. Imagine it's just like, oh, here's another Fandango level opponent for you. Right.
I got higher stock in Ethan Page than most people. I think he's a much more qualified opponent than Fandango, but he's a wrong character to go against Jericho.
Yeah. Okay, right. So Raw this week, Dusseldorf, Gunter, controversial win over AJ Styles. Did you see this match or see the ending?
Yep.
Saw the ending, yes.
Okay. Well, I think it was clever, but it also, I was like what wrestler ever doesn't wait for the bell? They'll hold the move until the bell. So I think it was clever, but it just made AJ seem a little. It didn't 100% win. I liked the concept of it though, with the tap.
They did the same ending though with Taker and Brock many years ago, didn't they?
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, Taker tapped on one side of the body, and Brock felt it, and Heyman saw it, and they both went, yeah, and they let go of the. Oh no, they didn't. No, I mistake. The timekeeper saw the tap and rang the bell before the referee signaled. Right,
that's
so maybe they haven't done that.
That's interesting.
My mistake.
Okay, well, because even that I think the bell ringing
the bell
always
ringing
means that the wrestler will be like, oh, well, there we go, and the referee can be like, no.
I misremembered, but no, I don't necessarily think it was a bad thing. But as I say, I only saw the highlights, so I don't know if did they have a shot of him tapping on the other side of his.
They did.
Okay.
And what was cool is that the commentators were like, "What's just happened?" They were very confused. I was confused, and you could just about see through a gap. Like there was a little bit because I actually rewound it to look for where did he think this tap happened. And I did that before I then saw the finish because I was just like, is this some weird cheating by AJ? Just being like, yeah, he tapped. I was like, this is the strangest heel turn. Just like, yeah, I guys, just take my word for it. He tapped here.
The referee believed him.
Yeah. Oh, okay then. Right, ring the bell.
Although there's history with that. I don't know if you ever see there's one of the battle royals in one of the Madison Square Garden shows, like until early 90s, like 91, 92 or something. And the final two are Hulk Hogan and Sid Justice. They're top of their feud. And for some reason, Earl Hebner is the only referee and he's in the ring for some reason. And he gets knocked down. While that's all going on, so Hogan eliminates Sid, but Sid comes back in, knocks him down. Hogan rolls out. Sid revives the ref and go, look, he's out of the ring. I threw him over. And Earl goes, oh, okay, ring the bell. He wins.
Yeah. Like I don't know if that's vaguely familiar to me, but as you were describing it, it definitely made me feel like I have seen something where someone just sort of said something happened.
Yeah. This is the thing. It's so over the years of this sort of thing, it's so inconsistent. It's the thing that drives most wrestling fans nuts, is because they assume that wrestling fans are stupid and don't remember things.
Yeah.
And they assume they don't remember like little details and things like that. We're perfectly like intelligent enough to remember if something like that has happened, or if there's some kind of point where it's happened and it's a starting point that can carry on from there. If it's something that's just totally out of nowhere and only there to match the story they're trying to tell, which doesn't make any organic sense, and that's the thing that's jarring. And obviously I thought there was some kind of history from it, but there isn't. You're right. This is a match ending that's there simply to serve the story they're trying to tell, which is that Gunther is devious and all that sort of stuff, which we know anyway. We know he's devious and can sometimes throw like dirty tactics in there. I mean, we know from previous experience that he can tap out if he's panicked and things like that. So that was using that sort of. So I guess in that sort of story sense, they were going with that. They sort of panicked, but he had enough sort of composure, sort of what to do it on the other side, where he knew the referee wasn't going to see it, and hoped that he would be dumb enough to do it, but to let go, which he was in this case.
To me, like I know they've gone with the idea that Gunther is vulnerable he's tapped out a couple of times. Yeah. He seems like the last wrestler that would tap out ever. This feels like an unusual vulnerability for him. I feel like there could be some other part of his game where it's like, this is his vulnerability because he puts himself into a position and he can get surprised by a high flying move, or he can get rolled up. But it doesn't feel like he's a tap out guy.
Sorry, Dave, go on.
No, go on, Dave. Go on. I've spoken.
The perfect counter to Gunther would actually be, because the match is sacred and like wrestling is sacred to him, hardcore match.
Well, yeah, something like that. Something where he's out of his depth. But him being like, oh well, people can get him to tap out. It's like, but he's the ring general. It's like his whole purpose, the whole point of him. Yeah. Is that he's the commander of the ring?
Yeah, it was the thing that was the problem with the match with Jey Uso where he lost the title by tapping out last year. It didn't reach that crescendo, because if you ever see the match where he dropped the NXT UK title to Ilya Dragunov, it was because Dragunov just kept going. He couldn't find a way back until he just kept going with this neck vice throughout the whole match. Until one point he just did this again, but he sort of dragged him up, and that's what panicked Gunther at the time. And when he's up there, he suddenly goes, he does a panic tap out, as in I can't take any more of this. It's like a quick tap out.
So okay, so you saying he lost it by tap out then?
So yeah, so it was earned, you know. It's like it felt like it was an earned like tap out and things like that, and it was like the last thing he could do. He couldn't do any more. He realized he was beaten. But that's obviously on a brand where the fan base at that point particularly are much more in-ring product, in-ring story based. Whereas, like I say, this main roster Gunter has not had that happen. As I say, it doesn't seem like a tap out way. I know from just from history of watching it that he has tapped out a couple of times. And it's something I think that might be that he likes to do as well. He likes the idea of being in that position of that and going, no, I'll do a panic tap out and things like that to put a guy over.
Yeah. Okay. Dev.
Honestly, this is kind of bad because I know he did it for health reasons, but I feel that the fact that he lost weight or so much weight took away from his gravitas he had before.
Yeah. Well, this is one of the interesting things with like, because he's a big guy, but he's not the biggest of big guy. And then he's like, he's going to devastate you with a power bomb. And it's like, well, there's been a lot of other people that feel like they're more convincing to devastate you with a power bomb, and not having all that extra weight behind it. I do get that. But again, there's that picture of him with green hair. So, he's had a few different looks. So
yeah. It's been through a few changes.
Now, speaking of a change, I'm going to latch onto that for a segue. Apparently, whether or not this is true or not, but Powerhouse Hobbs may be on his way to WWE.
Yeah, it looks that way.
Yeah, now, he strikes me as a wrestler, and I haven't seen tons of AEW over the last year to say how he's been used or whatever. But he's got like a slight upper mid-card push here or there, and it feels like, he's someone to watch in the future. And AEW have never quite capitalized on him. And like, if I had to say, someone from AEW, WWE could grab, I might have thought of him in the top 20, but I wouldn't have instantly jumped at the idea. But will WWE make something of him? Go on, Dev.
The main issue with Hobbs is the same issue with Brian Cage and Wardlow. They're big guys in a roster of small people. So you can't have them dominate because they'll get stale. And you also can't have them convincingly lose consistently to smaller wrestlers, or else they look weak, really weak.
So, sorry, what's the reason why they can't dominate?
Because they get stale. Because they win. If they win all the time, they'll get stale.
But if you're going to push someone as like if they'd actually pulled the trigger on Wardlow when he was at the height of the MJF feud, and then he'd been world champion, I feel like you could have, because he was babyface then because of the storyline with MJF. He could have been just like this dominant babyface, and then someone like later MJF probably would have been the one to dethrone him, and it would have been through cheating or something. And then they could have gone through the idea of, has he lost his confidence and stuff like this, and now he's making mistakes. And there's things you can do with big guys where you can sort of keep them credible, but why they never quite achieve greatness again. With a heel, I think it's a bit easier because then you can always make the little guys like the underdog thing. Like, I know everyone went like, wow, this is a great match at the time when Daniel Bryan went against Brock. I kind of thought that match sucked. I thought the logic of that match where Brock destroyed him for ages and then Daniel Bryan made the comeback. I was like, wait, he might be making something of a comeback, but to suddenly make it a competitive back and forth match, I was like, he's too far gone. He was like, how is he managing to pull this fire out after being squashed for 10 minutes? So I think you could have a heel who the babyface gets an upset over, and then that's how you can have it so they're not always world champion or something. But I don't know. What do we think Hobbs will do in WWE if that is where he lands up?
I mean, he could be. I just have a horrible feeling if they do bring him in, and if Jericho ends up being there, then he's going to end up being Jericho's bodyguard or something. I'll just go full circle and have him have a bodyguard again. or something like that. It's like Dev says, he's a big guy in the land of smaller people in AEW. In WWE, he's going to have a very hard time being really standing out. For starters, they're going to change his name. They'll put him in a random name generator again and call him something.
Let's predict what it'll be.
I don't know, like Buck.
What's his real name?
Buck Houseman or something. I don't know.
Bunkhouse Hobbs. Power.
He's also like I say, he has had stop-start moments of pushes and things like that. I remember he was like first. He was like one of the first sort of people in Team Taz, and he had a good push there, and he had a feud with Wardlow where he won the TNT title for like a little bit, and they had that match with Jericho where he destroyed him. But again, it was the follow up. It's like Jericho saying, "Oh no, I'll put over Hobbs. It's fine. Yeah, he'll be a made man after this." And he wasn't, because it was like they didn't follow up on it. So he's another wrestler that really depends on how they're going to push him, how they're going to follow up with everything they do with him. And this is even if he is going there, we know it's not 100% certain. But spoiler alert. Collision tapings, they do lose trio titles, so he's not got a title at the moment. So it does seem that last night was his last night. Was his last night? Stories are correct. So if he's going over there, good. I hope they do find something for him to do and to put him over a bit. But I don't think he's going to be a big player in there, especially when you got these newer guys from NXT that are coming up, like Obafemi and Javon Evans and all and Trick Williams and things like that, who are, I think, head and shoulders above him in terms of character.
Will he end up in NXT first? Is because look, quite a few
need someone.
Page, Ricky Starks, lots of them have gone from AEW to NXT. Has Powerhouse Hobbs had a career where he goes straight to the main roster? Royal Rumble's coming up, but would he get a reaction? I think he'd get something.
Not from Saudi.
Oh yeah, nothing.
Not Saudi. I won't get him anything there.
Yeah.
They put him in NXT, but they're doing this whole sort of thing where they're starting to push newer guys now. Because I was going to see if we could talk about it a little bit, because I watched NXT on Wednesday morning, and they're obviously with the departures of like 4 or 5 really high profile characters they've had on there for a while. They're now going to start pushing some newer guys, and they've got some people from the LFG shows that they're pushing over now, in people like Shiloh Hill and Just for Troy. But they've also got this other guy called Keanu Carver, who they did this sort of big brawl where they're announcing what was going to happen with the NXT title, and they're going to do a 6-way ladder match in a few weeks.
Okay, clean me up slightly. So Obafemi just relinquished it, right? He
defended the title against Leon Slater, and then they went back to the ring, and he'd left the title behind. So he vacated the title. They had this big sort of in-ring meeting thing at the start, saying there's going to be qualifiers for a 6-way ladder match, and they had initiated a big brawl. Of course, these things always do, but they used it to introduce this guy called Keanu Carver, who'd been on Evolve and has been on NXT for a couple of years, but not on the TV show. He's been in developmental for a few years, but he came out and just wrecked everyone. He threw one guy into the crowd. He put someone through a table. He pressed a couple of guys out onto the guys on the outside. He basically just dominated this brawl. He was like the last man standing in this whole thing. So he's a new character they've decided to initiate a push with. So that they're now in the sort of, it's not quite as bad as NXT 2.0 when they suddenly had all these new characters that they expected everyone to know. They're starting to now trickle in people from these other shows like LFG and Evolve that are almost like it's like a tier, they're going from tier 3, they're up to tier 2 now, and they're going to start putting those guys over a little bit. So to have someone that's got a bit of name value with a certain audience that NXT attracts in Hobbs might not be a bad thing to do, but if they were going to do that, it's really bad timing because Keanu Carver has just basically done in that angle what I would have expected a Hobbs to do.
It's really weird they're pushing Keanu Carver because, back in May or something, didn't he go on this massive tangent on Twitter about Roman Reigns and stuff, and all these dick-eating Samoans apparently.
Oh wow, really?
Dick-eating Samoans.
Yeah, because like the Samoans are always being pushed, etc., etc.
Oh, that's not the way. that's not a good thing to be doing. They've obviously forgiven him if they're giving him this push, but
yeah,
no, that's the question, David. I don't know what they do with Hobbs if they do go there. But good luck to him. He's in his mid-30s. If he needs to change his career in some way, then now's the time to do it.
I think Punk was always high on him, so I think I think there's all of the Punk disciples from AEW in the next year. Like we heard about Danhausen being away from AEW, and will he emerge in WWE or NXT or whatever?
What the hell do they do with him in WWE? I want to know. I have no idea where he goes.
He's going to be the American Mr. Iguana.
Yeah,
he did so much.
Yeah, but that's all that AEW did with him. Like that, they didn't ever give him any real storylines.
Yeah, that's why. What can you do with him? You can't. He's a
truth.
Yeah, you use him in a comedy way. You have him go to AAA and fight Mr. Iguana in a WWE versus AAA match. You have him do some shenanigans in NXT. You have him. My only thing about him is like if he turns up in the Royal Rumble and he tries to curse someone, they just simply shouldn't sell stuff like that. Like if Orange Cassidy came to WWE. And here's the thing: when I've seen some like Orange Cassidy stuff from the indies, where it's really like selling the weak kicks and stuff, I'm just like, oh, it's like you can do this, but you shouldn't sell it if you want it to be believable. And in AEW, sorry,
I don't remember them selling the kits on the indies.
Oh my god, yeah, I've definitely. I'd have to find it, but I'll find it because I've seen that where people are reacting to it as if these are like devastating blows and things.
Okay.
And then in AEW, I was like, okay, so mostly they just kind of stand there, but they play it into it for my like too much. It became old really fast, right? And with characters like that, if someone's going to curse you, just like, do you remember when like Santino, who did he have the match with where he did the Cobra?
Jinder.
And who?
Jinder Mahal.
And they sold it. Was it Jinder that sold it?
When he was it the one where he got the Cobra?
No. I mean, who sold it? Was it like JTG actually sold it like it was like?
Yes, I've seen that clip recently.
Bite or something like this, as if it was like as if it had been poisoned. Yeah. It's just like that. I like this is one of those moments where it's like, yeah, it's entertaining, but I hope that a non-wrestling person isn't in the room with me to watch this, because this is where it's like, oh, that's a bit cringe. What are you watching, David? Nothing. You know, it's like it's one of these moments. You know,
I still think that Jinder Sport was better.
Sorry,
I still think that Jinder Sport was better when he got the Cobra out, and Jinder was like with a flute controlling the Cobra.
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So this is.
Please tell me that didn't happen.
Yeah, 100%. I've seen this.
Oh, for God's sake!
So, but this is what I mean. So this is where they could bring in a Danhausen. This is where they can do Mr. Iguana. And then, do you remember Finn Balor had his mini
demon puppet?
What do they call it? Demonico or something like this?
Demonito.
Yeah. Okay. So, who knows? Right, guys. What else? What else is happening in the
TNA TV debut tomorrow?
Shit,
or today?
Right, it does, doesn't it? Okay, tonight. Have you guys seen the promos for this that they're like sharing?
Tonight, not tomorrow.
Is it tonight? Okay,
yeah.
Well, okay, that's good to know. I will definitely try to.
What promos I haven't seen?
Like the thing which I haven't enjoyed with it, like maybe this will work. Maybe they're just trying to attract casual fans or whatever. But it's just got like these random promos where it's showing the wrestlers talking about absolutely non-wrestling related stuff, and I'm like, this is how they're trying to get people to watch TNA again. You see, like I'll see if I can bring one up. Like, what channel are they on? The AMC, right? AMC. If I can find how they've been promoting it,
all and Breaking Bad and things like that on it.
Let's have a look.
I hadn't seen that. But I know they've ended up doing backpedaling on a match they had advertised because they were going to do Leon Slater versus Myron Reed for the X Division title.
Oh, here it is.
But Myron Reed, along
Went
with
to AEW.
No, at AEW.
Okay, hang on. Look, I hope there's not music because, like, I'll give it a go. So let's unmute it. It's like if you forgot that TNA existed. Get to know the stars of TNA, and you start with him of all people, right?
Brian Myers.
What is his name nowadays?
Brian Myers.
Brian Myers. You're right. Yeah.
Had a real on-paper job besides being a professional wrestler.
Oh, great! That music's definitely copyrighted. Let's give it a go.
One thing people might not know about me is I'm actually quite shy.
I was a judo practitioner my whole life. I was a judo athlete growing up. It's actually surprising. I'm actually pretty good at playing the piano.
Like, come on! I'm watching this shit. I have got to see this.
Why would you have this promo including Santino Marella out of character?
Well, exactly. Everything.
You might have people watching that going, "Oh, Santino, I remember him."
Yeah.
I'm a vegetarian. People don't know that about me. I don't eat any meat. Horses
Who
are
are
my
you?
favorite animal, but I'm allergic to them.
I'm a huge anime fan. Dragon Ball Z, the OG. I love animals like otters and possums.
Otters and possums. I'm like, this is appointment television. You know what I mean? It's like
great pause on the Hollywood hunk face there, by the way.
On the what?
On the Hollywood hunk face there.
Hollywood hunk.
Beavers. I think funny little mammals are awesome. I love them.
So now people know.
People give possums a hard time, but they get rid of pests. They don't get rabies, and they're very friendly.
I have to watch that show. Right now,
So out of everyone they could use, they use the Luigi of Ziggler.
do you know, like, to be fair to them, when they first did a promo, and I was like, it was so much heavily the Hardy Boys. And there's like flashes of like Dolph Ziggler in there, and like they were like, oh, they're leaning into some recognizable faces. Yeah. And probably they got a criticism like, you shouldn't just show WWE guys. And they're gonna like Santino, everyone else. We don't want anyone to be recognizable, and we're gonna have them talk about beavers and possums, and piano, and that they're shy and vegan. Like, just show like the high fly flippy X division. Yeah. It's really simple.
And if you do want to show non-wrestling stuff, have TNA wrestlers in like a parody of The Walking Dead or a parody of Breaking Bad.
That would be interesting. Okay, hang on. Let's go back because that first one.
Like a parody Breaking Bad with a bunch of wrestlers.
Hang on. Let's see what this one.
Die Hard is not a fucking Christmas movie. I don't care what the director says.
When was this posted? 12th of January. God. Oh, that's perfect timing. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
What take?
Peach Cobb is the best dessert of all time. I'll down that hill. It goes with everything. Professional wrestling is actually America's pastime, not baseball.
That's not a bad quote, but again, it's the major brother.
That belongs on mac and cheese.
We should be going to the dentist more. The feeling after you leave the dentist, your teeth are so clean, and there's.
Oh my god! Fire him! I don't care if they only hired him so they could get Ziggler there. Just get rid of that guy.
I think Dev's description of him is Luigi Nemeth. That's a great idea. Luigi Ziggler. That's great.
Actually, yeah. To be honest, I missed that when you said that, Mega. That is pretty.
Oh
good.
my god, that is pretty terrible. But yeah, but you know what? It's TNA. They're going to survive somehow. They've survived this long. I don't know how they're still going, but it's. Yeah, I wonder how you're gonna do like a Breaking Bad like parody some kind with the wrestlers. Have Leon Slater running around the bike with
just have the Rascals making drugs. Oh no, they can't use them anymore.
Do you remember NWA got a TV deal with like the CW or something? And like the week they were going to announce it, they had the Sinister Minister snorting cocaine on their pay-per-view. And then it was cancelled, and it's just like
cocaine party on pay-per-view.
What they did? That was something they never needed to do. You know,
it was so unnecessary.
Yeah, it was like the most unnecessary major fail that cost a promotion, a TV deal, whatever.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. That's very. Oh my god!
You just reminded me that during NXT they had the Rascals had a match, and they had to find the higher power backstage and stuff. So they went on this whole quest, and it turned out the higher power was RVD.
In what?
in NXT.
Oh, what?
The
Higher.
Rascals?
Higher.
The
No,
higher
it wasn't
power.
RVD, it was Matt Riddle, wasn't it?
I think it was,
I think it was Riddle. I'm sure
Well,
it was
to be
Riddle. They
honest.
had a match involving him at some point. I'm sure it was Riddle.
Both
It's
make
one of
sense.
the two. One of the two, or maybe
Yeah.
both.
Yeah. Both make sense for that.
Yeah.
Okay, but like let's bring up, because you are right. TNA is a thing again. Well, it always was a thing. It's never died.
I'm about to say, it's every year it seems to be a thing again, doesn't it? Last year it was like the rise of Joe Hendry. Suddenly TNA is a thing again. Previous year, so that TNA is TNA again. So it's a thing again.
You know what the perfect thing to promote TNA would have been?
Tell me.
Have Gunther win by DQ because the TNA wrestler helped AJ.
WWE weren't going to give that rub to TNA though on Raw. No, like AJ though, right? AJ Styles is going to be on the debut episode of this tonight. So
yeah, he's going to be there.
Yeah, AJ Styles. He'll come out to his old theme of obviously.
Yeah,
and
get ready to fly.
Surely this has to lead to some match though, because otherwise, what's the point?
Right. So I was listening to a podcast earlier today that was reviewing the NXT show, and they mentioned this whole thing. They're talking about some stuff that had been happening. They mentioned the Gunther AJ Styles match that we've been talking about. Now, do you remember that? Obviously, Leon Slater is X Division champion, and they did the whole thing when he came back, when he won the title, and AJ came out to congratulate him, put him over at was it Bound for Glory or something like that? One of those.
Something like that, yeah.
And so they've got a theory that maybe they could do AJ Styles versus Leon Slater at some point for the X Division title, have AJ win it, and then he exercises option C.
Wait, so what is option C?
Remember,
cash in the title to win
they cash in the title for a world title shot.
Ah, yeah.
Now, what if he exercises option C? He waits for Gunther to win the title and cashes in option C on Gunther. I wonder if it would, go that way. I don't know.
Yeah, I hope though that TNA does well. I hope that it's because when TNA obviously had the Monday Night War with WWE, it lasted I think maybe 4 weeks, maybe 6, before they would like, we're heading back to Thursdays. We've listened to you. It's like, no, you got destroyed. And now obviously they don't have competition, but it would be a massive blow if AMC were just like, nah, this isn't going to happen.
I think it's all reliant on something to do with WWE as well, though. I think that's one of the main reasons they've got this deal.
Yeah,
because they are working with them now. I think I'd said before that when the whole thing started, it was like I felt that if TNA were going to benefit from anything, it would be with better production and better promotion and things like that. And I think they have done that in the shows I have seen. I think their production generally has been better.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting the little times, even though they've stopped doing it now for UK, thanks TNA Plus, they've stopped doing like the 3 months over here. When I was using the TNA Plus app, it was the same system that they've been using for the network app. It's exactly the same system. Ran really smoothly, really nicely. It was really good. But what was I going to say? I think the main thing there though is just hopefully they can now they've got this chance, really establish themselves as a good alternative sort of to watch without WWE's endorsement. It's one of those things, and it also sort of links into what I was saying earlier about the longevity of wrestlers now. Their champion is Kazarian. He's 48. Can you believe that?
Wow.
He's 48 years old and he can still move the way he does. It's amazing. But years ago, I'm talking like during like the late 90s, early 2000s, when we had the WWF versus WCW, and everyone calling the WCW the
retirement home
company that had all the old decrepit wrestlers. Yeah. They're all younger then than most of the roster is now.
Yeah. Well, okay. What was that statistic that WWE haven't had a world champion under 40 in 15 years or something like this?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt was the last champion under 30.
Sorry, under 30. Under 30. Yeah. Right. You're right. That's crazy. Okay, guys. Dave, I know you had to go for like 8, so we'll begin to wrap this one here. But Dev, did you have one last?
No, that was it.
Okay, cool. Let's find out where we can find everyone on social media. Dev.
You can find me on TikTok and Twitch under the name FWDAT.
Amazing. Dave.
Find me David Jervis Green on Facebook, on Instagram, on Blue Sky. I will be deleting my my X account at some point within the next month because that is turning into a pile of old crap. Fuck Elon Musk and fuck Rock.
Okay, and my name is David Pistanic. You can find me Facebook, Instagram, X, etc. I'm on every platform, right? So make sure you smash those subscribe buttons there, and also like Shane Gav isn't here because I've realized that we do have. Well, actually, at the moment we do have the DV, and we've almost had the four Vs. What was there a fifth V? Because that obviously that is a 5.
The 4 Vs.
The 4 Vs. We
Gavin, Dev, David, Dave.
Gav, Dev, Dave, David. You know, everyone needs to have a V as the third letter in their name.
As I say it on here now, we need to get, well, next time Gav is on, we need to play one of his matches on the YouTube, from his YouTube channel. We need to watch it and commentate.
Okay, I'm up for that. We need to get him on board with it in case he's.
We've said it for ages. As soon as he said he was putting his stuff on the matches, we're like, we've got to commentate on one of these on the show. Come on, let's do it.
Yeah, good idea. Right. Until next time, ciao for now. And boom, we're off the air.